This thing right here, this is like a $300 mouse. Look, I mean, it even comes with, it's got like a certificate of some sort. They advertise it as being super lightweight. It could be a lot better. The stock base that this mouse came with was pretty heavy. This thing weighs 1.5 grams. It says for gamers by gamers, and I don't even, doesn't really matter to me. I don't know how to do flick shots. I don't need to spend $300 on a really nice mouse that is super lightweight so I can hit all my flick shots. But that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate good design. The question I asked myself was, how can I take this mouse and make it lighter without breaking it?
Well, the first thing I did was use a RevoPoint scanner to put a mesh model of the mouse into Fusion 360. Then I used section sketches to help me approximate the mounting locations. And honestly, from here, it was pretty fun, if not a tad bit tedious. Just kind of building out the general shape of things, just figuring out how to make it as light as I can. One of the most gratifying parts of this entire process was finally being able to see it come together.
The gravity of the situation could not be understated. I was obsessed. I had been obsessed with this thing for a month already. When I finally printed the prototype and tried it out, it was frankly horrible. The scroll wheel was misaligned, the mounting points made the whole thing kind of crooked, and so I went back to the drawing board again. 2 months later, I still wasn't getting anywhere. I mean, I was honestly juggling school and my videography career. I just decided to pay $200 for someone to professionally scan it.
A couple weeks later, I finally had something that I was happy with. I use Razer's magnesium alloy shell to my advantage. It doesn't flex nearly as much as a traditional plastic shell, which means that I can use the base as less of a structural component and more as a piece that lets the PCB float above the mouse skates. I've also never seen anyone do this before, but I made the walls hollow. The last thing I did was replace the battery with a smaller one. I had to find a specific battery with a 3-pin JST connector, otherwise the mouse wouldn't work. I get around 1 to 3 days of runtime depending on how much I use the mouse. Assembly is actually really easy. You just have to connect the side button cable and then hook the latches into the respective spots. Then make sure the back is lined up and gently push down until it's seated. This base was designed to be totally friction fit, so we don't use all the screws, therefore more weight savings. The PCB is actually the only part that's screwed onto the base. And I just used the 6mm Superglide mouse skates. And all in all, with all the weight savings, we come in at 38.4 grams.
I love using this because it is an example of my hard work and what I can do if I really put my mind to it. And it's something that I actually truly do use on the daily.